afternoon, a man called Epimetheus and his wife Pandora were outside tending to their flower garden when they saw God Mercury approaching. He was bowed down by a dark wooden chest that he was carrying on his shoulders, and he looked hot and tired. Pandora rushed to get the one out, got a cool drink, while Epimetheus helped him lower the chest onto the ground. It was tied with golden cords. "My friends, would you do me a great favor?" said Mercury. "It is so hot today and the box is very heavy. May I leave it here while I go on an errand?" "Of course you can," smiled Epimetheus. Epimetheus and the god heaved the chest indoors. Then Mercury said, "No one under any circumstances must open the box." "Don't worry," laughed Epimetheus and Pandora, and they waved the god off through the trees. All of a sudden, Pandora stopped still and frowned. "Listen, Epimetheus," she said in a low voice. "I am sure I heard someone whispering our names." Epimetheus and Pandora listened hard. At first they heard nothing. Then they heard the distant sound of Epimetheus Pandora being called from outside. "It's our friends," cried Epimetheus happily, but Pandora looked puzzled. "No, Epimetheus, those are not the voices I heard," she said firmly. "They must have been." Epimetheus laughed. "Come on now, let's go and see everyone." "You go," Pandora insisted. "I had rather stay here for a while." Epimetheus shrugged and strode outside. As soon as he was gone, Pandora hurried over to the strange chest and waited. After only a few sounds, she heard it again, distant voices calling, "Pandora, Pandora." The voices were so long and Pandora was not sure whether she was really hearing them or was just imagining. She bent down closer and put her ear to the lid. No, this time she was sure the chest was calling to her. "Pandora," the voice pleaded. "Let us out, Pandora. We are trapped here in the darkness. Please help us to escape." Pandora jumped back with a start. God Mercury had expressly forbidden them or anyone else to open the chest. The voices sounded very sad and pitiful. "Pandora, they came again. Help us, we beg you." Pandora could stand it no longer. Hurriedly he knelt down and worked at the tight golden knots. All the time the whispering and pleading voices filled her ears. At last the knots were undone and the gleaming cords fell away. She took a deep breath and opened the lid. At once Pandora realized she had done a terrible thing. The box had been crammed with all the evils in the world. Thousands of tiny brown moth-like creatures that stung people with their wings and caused pain and misery wherever they went. Now, because of Pandora, the evils were free. They flew up out of the chest in a great swarm and fluttered all over Pandora's skin. For the very first time, Pandora felt pain and regret. She began to wail with despair, but all too late, she slammed the lid back down onto the chest. Outside, Epimetheus heard his wife's cries and came running as fast as he could. The little creature fluttered to sting and bite them before flying off through the window into the world beyond. For the first time ever, Epimetheus began to shout at his wife. Pandora yelled back, and the couple realized that they were arguing. "Let me out!" interrupted a high voice. Pandora and Epimetheus grabbed onto each other in panic. The voice was coming from the chest. "Don't be afraid of me. Let me out, and I can help you," came the voice. "What do you think?" Pandora whispered to Epimetheus, wide-eyed. "Surely you can't do any more mischief than you already have done," he grumbled. So Pandora opened God Mercury's chest for a second time. Out of the deep, dark chest fluttered a single shining spirit like a butterfly. It was Hope. Pandora and Epimetheus sobbed with the relief as she fluttered against their skin and soothed their sting wounds. Then she was gone, darting out of the window and into the world after the evils. Luckily, Hope has stayed with us ever since. Thank you.